Start. So guys, there's something I want to introduce into your awareness if it is already not in your awareness. Give me a minute. Yeah, so hi everyone. So there's information I want to introduce to you to your awareness, if at all it is not already in your awareness, guys. In March, there were people during the month of authenticity. There were people who got 2 periods in March, in the month of March, 2 periods. And then in July, in the month of July, there are people who, as everybody else was getting 1 period each, there are people who did not get any period in July, a lot of people. So these particular 2 months, we are remaining with August, September, October, November, December, almost like roughly 4 months left. And you know, there's a lot of debates about, do we have 13 months? Do we have 12 months? Now, there's that's a secret that only women hold. So as a woman, you have to count in a year. How many cycles do you get? Because women don't get the same. And as a woman, the number of cycles that you get determines a lot about who you are and, you know, the origin of your essence. So I wouldn't even recommend you tell anyone about your cycle. It should be your own personal secret, and the counting of your cycle should be somewhere that only you can access. Anyway, I know there are people who use apps. I know that there are people who use apps to track their period. It's not, anyway, it depends on how much private you are. But as somebody who values spirituality, and you know you are a glitch in the matrix, let me call it that, or you are a glitch in the system. If you know your essence, there are things you need to really keep to yourself. And because inside our menstrual cycle, there's a lot of secrets of how you function as an individual. So from me, the only thing I'll tell you is this: count for yourself. Up to this particular time we are in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Mm-hmm. If you are normal, if you are a normal human being that is functioning on a monthly basis, you should have had how many periods by now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8.
6, 7, 8.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are just moving normally, with those women, they've had 8 periods by now. Now women who are Bantu, who are tapping into the Bantu spirit, who are tapping into and by the way, when I say tapping into the Bantu spirit, after I teach today's class, especially the last slide, you're going to connect what I'm talking about. But the Bantu women, whether you are Nilotic or whatever, now there's that tapping into spirituality that automatically makes you a Bantu individual. When you're in touch with your intuition, when you're in touch with infinity. Now those types of women, by now you had 9 periods. You got 2, you got
8.
2 in extra. You got 2 in March. When authenticity was being awarded, you got twice. And now in July you also got your period, and now you have 9. Now there are others who in March you got 2, but in July you lost 1. And then there are others who you got 1, 1, 1, in July you lost 1. So just keep up up with your salary, because your salary as a woman is what determines. I hope I am talking to someone. Your salary as a woman is what determines how you function on this particular realm. So be in touch with how many periods you have in a year. It will automatically place you where you belong. It should be either 12 or 13. You should either be having 12 or 13. If you have less, your energy is being diverted somewhere else. If you have more, you are intentionally being given more help because you're crucial. So stay in awareness, and as people debate about 12, 13 months, 12, 13 months, you find out first of all how many periods you have in a year before you even go anywhere about the 12, 13 months. That is the first announcement I wanted to make. The second announcement that I wanted to make was I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but repent. That's the second announcement that I wanted to make. Change your perspective. If you don't love yourself fully yet, change your perspective. And some of the stubborn things that make certain people to not love themselves fully are associated with childhood wounds. And so I just want to make this announcement. If you've ever participated in anything pedophilia related, if you've ever touched a child, you're going to have a difficult time. Even if you touched a child and nobody saw and it was a secret, you're going to have a difficult time. Even if you are excellent, even if you have spiritual gifts, even if you are whoever you are, if you've ever touched a child, you're going to have a difficult time. And people who are involved with child molestation, child things, you're going to be needed to speak out more, to talk more, to have conversations more. And anything that made you move away from your self-love, find your way back. Love yourself. Find ways to love yourself. If you have things that were nailed in your subconscious to make you never look at yourself as a worthy individual, start looking at yourself. It doesn't matter how you look at anybody else. Start looking at yourself as a worthy individual. Because if you don't, you're going to have a difficult time. If you've ever participated in pedophilia, even if you regret it, you're going to have a difficult time. And you know, these are things that a lot of people have participated in. And I'm telling you, pedophilia was almost like the test. Like, you can be a very excellent individual with the power to expand. But at the moment you've ever molested a child, as long as that is in your spiritual CV, it shows lack of self-control, lack of discipline, so if you're going to have a difficult time. You know, I don't want to be the one to judge or whatever. I'm just telling you, you're going to be having a difficult time. And if you expanding and you showing up for your 7 days is not going to be easy. It's going to start being very difficult. Even if you've had it very easy, you're going to start having very difficult times. Because the mothers are here, and the first people who are going to pay when the mothers awaken are the people who molested the children. So if you've ever done it, even if nobody saw you, you're going to have a difficult time. So that man getting. Yeah, people are going to. You're going to pedophilia. You're going to have a difficult time. You're the first on the list. First on the list. When mothers arise, guess who is the first on the list of punishment? So, even if you are a woman and you've ever touched a child, it doesn't matter the gender, it doesn't matter the compilation, you are going to have a difficult time. So I'm to start finding ways to have the conversation. Because those are the conversations that people are going to start having. And I think people are already starting to have them in certain parts of the world. We are going to have to talk about it, and people who are going to have to talk about it are the people who have participated in it. So the rest of us are going to just lay back, and you are going to have that conversation. If at all you want to move forward, or you're going to have that conversation or exit. Whatever spirits are around that causes whatever that chain is of pedophilia to happen among families and whatever, we're going to have to address that. You know, certain people are even starting to come up that, oh, we need our rights, we are attracted to children. We're going to have that conversation. And maybe children are going to have to be involved as well. So even in your families, have those conversations. If you've ever been molested as a child, it doesn't matter if you're 50-year-old. You need to have those conversations. What if a child did to another child? So now children, when it comes to children, it's just like now sexual assault among adults. You know, that is like rape culture. It's a little bit different from pedophilia. Pedophilia is literally taking advantage of innocence. And people go as low as 1 year old, 2 year old, months. People go as low as. And that is the one thing that women are supposed to be there for. Too much. Too much. Women are supposed to be too much when it comes to looking after children, whether it's a boy child or a girl child. It doesn't matter. Bantu, your job is to first of all take care of the seeds. Because once a seed is violated, it violates. And it violates, and they form a chain of violation. It never stops. So once a Bantu fails, once a mother fails to protect a child, that child will molest. It is like a mark. It's like that movie Bird Box. Don't look up. The moment you look up, the children that get molested, they molest, and then the chain continues, and it needs to stop. And it was very rampant when I said authenticity is the only reason. The moment authenticity disappears among people, people start to be fake. And when fakeness is married in society, children are the first ones to suffer in a fake society. And a lot of people were abused. A lot of children were abused. They are adults now. It's time to have that conversation wherever you are. If you are involved, if you witnessed, participated, it's time to have that conversation. Because it is the one that is too much everywhere now. And if you don't have that conversation, we are going to have a world where justice will never be born. Truth and justice will never be born. If we don't have true conversation around pedophilia, then forget about mass. Forget about truth and justice. Forget about truth and justice. And it starts with women not protecting their children. When you are not authentic, your intuition is off. In an off intuition, you can't communicate with your child. Like it's just for the system to be fixed, That conversation needs to be had, and people need to decide on what to do with such kind of people, because we have an entire religion. The entire Catholic religion, the entire Vatican is pedophilia founded, based on pedophilia. So we have it as it's very strong in our society, very strong in our community, so much that we have an altar for it, we have an entire church for it. And it's not just girl child that suffers, the boys suffer the most even, because men have no shame. Or 11 and 12 and you are 5, that is rape, literally, it's literal rape. Yeah, so your mom, like at 5-year-old, you know, women, be serious about your be serious about children. We have the results. And you know, when you raise children carelessly, then you get results that are very ruthless. A lot of the children of our generation were molested, raped. We are adults that were innocence is gone. Like this thing of Israel murdering Palestine life, like it's like innocence is gone. It was gone when we were growing up. Most of us were growing up, it was gone. So right now people need to have the difficult conversations. The difficult conversations needs to be had in families that such kind of things occurred in, so that people can move forward. Anyway, those are the two announcements that I had. The first one, very important. Look, how many times do you shed blood in a year? And don't tell me, keep that secret to yourself. If you tell me, I'll know where you are. So, how many periods do you have in a year? It places you automatically where you are spiritual. So shall I continue? Any question before I continue? Nola, thank you very much. Any question before I continue, please? And guys, repent, change your perspective. Mwenda tezi na omo, marenjeo ngambani. Ni wakati wa kurejea ngamani. Ni wakati wa kurejea ngamani. Mwenda tezi na omo, marenjeo ngamani. It's time to center yourself. Center nobody else in your life. It's time to center yourself. And if you are not centering yourself, meaning you, your children, whatever you came out of you, if you're not centering that, then you're lost. And if you don't have anything that has come out of you yet, center yourself just alone. Yeah. So let me continue, please. Let me turn this back so now we can start reading whatever is here. The essential practices of Ushirikina, which is quantum entanglement. As we have learned before, the ancestral, or rather the spiritual realm, is the realm where all is one. While the physical realm is the realm that presents contrast to that one. This presentation of contrast is there to test your loyalty to yourself. Ability to maintain loyalty leads to rulership. Hence the quote, those who obey inner authority automatically become outer authority. Ability to maintain loyalty leads to rulership. That is how you become a ruler. Failure to maintain self-loyalty in the presence of contrast makes you the ruled on earth. On earth we have the rulers and the ruled only. How do you become a ruler? No bribery. You have to be the one that maintains the highest loyalty in the presence of contrast. On earth, all you see around is contrast. Now your ability to maintain loyalty, beloved, your ability to maintain loyalty in the presence of contrast gives you divine authority and rulership on its own. Nobody objects. That is the spiritual hierarchy. Remember, we have a physical hierarchy and we have a spiritual hierarchy. Now, the physical hierarchy is the one that you call tropical astrology or whatever. The one that is crafted, the one that is handmade, artificially made by humans. And then there is the spiritual hierarchy. If you want rulership, divine rulership inside the spiritual hierarchy, you must be the most loyal dog in the pack to itself. And the failure to maintain self-loyalty in the presence of contrast makes you the rule automatically. So if you can't stay loyal to yourself in the presence of contrast, then you automatically become the rule. I hope that is clear now. Look at this particular image, you've seen it before. Nicole saying hi, then, yeah, Mama Nicole saying Peter is lovely. Guys, you can just type. Right now I can see. I'm standing here and I'm sitting here, so I can see whatever is going on with you guys over there. So, your brain, which is your thought, is usually married, like you have memories inside your brain. And then you have intuition inside your brain. Now, this intuition is loyalty to yourself when you're alone. That is all intuition is all about. And we're going to get deeper into that. Loyalty to yourself when you're alone, that is what intuition is all about. And that occupies one side of your brain. And then the other side of your brain is occupied with memories of loyalty to yourself in contrast to existence. So these two are the ones that are constantly occupying your brain. Your brain is constantly occupied with intuition, which is thoughts of you being loyal to yourself when you are alone. And then memory, which is thoughts of you being loyal to yourself in contrast of others. This is the default. Now, your arrangement might be that your memories are full of you being loyal to other people at the expense of yourself, which now manifests as bullying inside your brain. And that is not a state of homeostasis, of authenticity. The state of homeostasis is you having thoughts inside your brain that are loyal to you when you're alone, and thoughts that are loyal to you when you are in the presence of others. You are the main character. So when you are alone, you are loyal to yourself. When you are in the presence of others, you are loyal still to yourself. You find ways, my dear. Now that is what is called wrestling. The art of wrestling, you have to find, it doesn't matter who you are in the presence of. You have to find ways to be loyal to yourself in the presence of whoever you are in. Now the modern world baits you to automatically shrink yourself in the presence of others. If you do that, you manifest doom for yourself. You should always strive. It doesn't matter whose presence you are on. When you are alone, loyal to yourself. When you're in the presence of others, you find ways to be loyal to yourself as well. And you don't start war. You are loyal to yourself in the presence of others. And you don't allow anybody to bend you over. Now, as I've talked about, I've brought this particular image just to talk to you about the intuition now, the intuition side. Loyalty to yourself when you are alone. Why is it important? Your intuition, which is your self-loyalty when you are alone, is the one responsible for protecting your dead. You are dead. There's something inside of you called your dead. Now, who is your dead? This Anubis and then this is your dead. Who is your dead? Your dead is the version of you. You are trying to resurrect by living. by being a lion. By you being a lion, there is a version of you. You are resurrected. Every day as you harvest the 7 days, you are remembered. Remember. You're getting back into membership with a version of yourself. Which one? The dead. Now this dead, the way I'm dead, inside your intuition. Your intuition protects your dead. So the more loyal to your essence you remain in the place of contrast, the more protected your dead become. The more loyal to your own essence you remain in the space of contrast. When you are in the presence of others, the more protected your dead become. Now the less loyal you become in the presence of contrast, the more you are risking the life of your dead. When you risk the life of your dead, there's nothing to become. When you risk the life of your dead, there's nothing to become. Guys, are you comprehending? Somebody's saying I'm late. Don't be late next time, my dear. So this is the most important value of intuition. There's a version of yourself that you're constantly becoming, and that version is inside your left arm, your intuition. Inside your intuition are your realm of the dead, your ancestors. Now the more loyal to your essence you become when you are in the presence of others, the more you are protective of your ancestors, that you are trying to become, that you are awakening, that you are remembering, that you're making alive. So the goal is to remain loyal to your, and imagine your present time, guys, believe in time, trust in time. Your present time that is trying to protect your dead might look very anyhow. But then as you continue to stay loyal to yourself, the dead are awakening, the dead are awakening. And that is what we call the process of glow up. Your ancestors will glow you up. The more you protect them. The more you protect them, these ones, they have all the looks that ever existed. The less you protect them, the more they deteriorate and they manifest as ugliness on your face. The more you protect them, the more they rise and expand within you and they manifest as beauty on you. You can't, are you trying to tell me that you cannot read what is written? Marcella, is that what your authenticity is trying to bring out? Because I'm trying to relate how your blindness is associated with the topic that I'm trying to put across. But then I've realized that, oh, probably it's because she cannot see the writing. Is that the relationship? You can't see what is written?
Elise, what up? What you doing?
Getting ready?
Is there anyone else in there with you, man?
No. Actually, yes.
Are you sure? Are you okay?
Anyway, let me continue, guys. I hope that
Can you give me some
point
that you're okay?
went across.
Okay, you're not okay.
I'm trying to have a conversation with this girl. She's not replying. Should I move on? Marcella Thompson? The thing is, since I'm in school, I have to zebra and yeah, so you know, seeing has everything to do with feeling. The inability to see far is the inability to feel deep. You have to see far, you have to feel deep. It's like seeing in the bottom of the ocean. You have to feel deep. So being myopic, most of the time we can look at around in society. Myopia is as a result of the inability to feel deeply about things, like you just feel shallowly. And most of the time to feel shallowly, that comes from the, you know, being insensitive or maybe lack of experience when it comes to feelings. Do you ever dive deep into feelings? You know, some people are afraid of feeling. Some people are so scared of feeling. When they feel, they run away. Don't be like that. Feel. Be somebody who you feel things deeply up to where they take you out to where the feelings take you. Allow yourself to feel without shame. Like for example, when your favorite music comes on, and maybe it is in vernacular, and you are around people and you know you are ashamed, you are around people who are colonized and brainwashed, so you are ashamed to feel. You don't do that. You feel your things. Even if you are in the presence of people who don't feel the way you feel, you still continue to feel your things. The world is a jungle. We are not uniform on this particular planet. So you can't be a monkey among zebras and you are scared to do monkey things because you're scared that the zebras will judge you. And it starts from authenticity, by the way. When you miss authenticity, you miss everything else. Now, let me go proceed. I hope you've comprehended the dead. You are dead. So every time, because we will be talking about the dead a lot. In Kemetic mythology, we talk about the dead a lot. So from now on, henceforth, my students, when we talk about the dead in Kemetic mythology, will you be knowing what we are talking about? When we talk about the realm of the dead, will you be knowing what we are talking about? Because we are talking about where you fetch your avatars from. When we talk about your realm of the dead, we are talking about where you are fetching your avatar from. And who is the protector of that? Anubis. Your intuition is the one that protects your realm of the dead. So remember, don't speak too much about your realm of the dead. Don't speak too much. Don't let CCTV access into your realm of the dead. When they're talking about going to the moon, you want to access your realm of the dead. So be secretive. Women are secretive individuals. I encourage secrecy. I encourage secrecy among women. The era of social media is coming to make you seem like you need to, parade everything. You can be secret about the things you need to be in secret of. Especially your realm of the dead. Protect your realm of the dead with your life. Anything else you can showcase. But when it comes to your realm of the dead, tread carefully and don't be too talkative about it, because remember, the moon is safe in Cancer. So that intuitive energy is safe when you are alone. The realm of the dead is safe when you are alone. When you are alone, your realm of the dead can even come in front of you and showcase itself to you. It is safe when you are alone. So whenever you would reach a point where you even feel like you are in a horn of dilemma, going into your realm of the dead will bring you a lot of solutions. Anyway, those are things we'll talk about later. We continue now. Practices that help strengthen your loyalty to yourself. So remember, it is all about your loyalty to yourself at the end of the day. When it comes to practices, when it comes to Ushirikina, we start by you being loyal to yourself. That is where the fertilization occurs. The process of fertilization occurs in the arms of the womb. The arms of the womb is where the fertilization occurs. So that is where you get born. It is the first practice of ushirikina, self-loyalty. You cannot be a successful quantum entangler if you're not loyal to yourself. Or this is not something for, spirituality is not for people who are not loyal to themselves first. Selfishly, like the people of Israel. If there's something you need to learn about the people of Israel is they're very loyal to themselves. And that is the timeline we are on. Guys, the gospel that I preach today is not the gospel that is being preached in somewhere in the 6th century. They don't need loyalty to self because they've cultivated a timeline where it is safe to exist, even when you don't know the rules of the universe. But then in our timeline, we have to preach loyalty to self because we are going to face selection, survival for the fittest. Natural selection is coming. And guess the people that will survive, the only ones who are loyal to themselves. You either claim your space on earth or you lose your reincarnation ticket forever. This is the last lap. Sounds selfish, such teachings will sound selfish. Oh, you don't care about others or whatever. Look at the holographic display in the collective consciousness. Look at what Israel is doing to Palestine. And nobody has done anything about it for the longest time. Loyalty to self is what is going to help you survive. And if you think it is selfish, wait, because you're going to see why it is not very soon. But for now, allow me to teach it to people who need to hear it. Loyalty to self is the first thing. So now, the practices that help strengthen your loyalty to yourself. So first of all, the moon rituals. When the moon is full, intuition is everywhere. It's almost like the ancestors, they join us temporarily. All of them, they join us temporarily. During the full moon, we are never alone. Every full moon, the ancestors are fully there. And then every new moon, they are not there. Every full moon, download. It's almost like the download complete. Every new moon, they are not there. So now, moon rituals, when you have this particular information, you can have rituals that you do when you know the ancestors are there. And rituals that you do when you know the ancestors are not around as much. And you can have rituals that you carry when the ancestors are there. You can carry, for example, collecting moon water. That is one of the things you can do. Carrying that particular intuition all the way to the new moon. So that you can still have the presence of the ancestors with you there. Like people, these are survival tactics here. And people who do them, you might think they're crazy, but these things, they work. Because these are true energies. People who believe in an imaginary guy think that they know best than people who believe in things that are there. The moon is there, we can see it. The sun is there. Water is there. The elements are there. So this, it might seem to you like it is strange, will help you enhance your loyalty to yourself a lot. If you are not loyal to yourself, you maybe want to start getting into such particular things. And right now, I will not go deep into them. I'll just give you an overview, give you a head start. The second one is the menstrual cycle rituals. For women only. You know, the moon rituals you can do, men can do. Now, when it comes to the menstrual cycle rituals, this one is exclusively women only. And one thing I'll tell you women is that when you start becoming in a circle with other women, one thing that will always happen is that you guys will start having periods periods around the same time. It always happens. A lot of your periods you guys will be having around the same time. Syncing periods is a thing. And when you have a group of friends that you guys are friends like that, take advantage of your menstrual cycles. Just the way you venture into friendship, venture into utilizing your menstrual cycles as friends, as women, and then see what happens. But then if you're a woman who is a soulless-oriented individual, using your menstrual cycle for rituals, whatever ritual you want, will always strengthen your loyalty to yourself. And then another practice that helps strengthen your loyalty to yourself is feeding or caring for dogs. Anubis is dogs. Dogs is loyalty totem. Anytime the relationship you have with dogs is the relationship you have with intuition and memory. Anubis. Loyalty to yourself. The relationship you have with the dogs is the relationship you have with loyalty to yourself when you are alone and loyalty to yourself when you are with others. If you are scared of dogs, you're somebody who you are not loyal, you are seldom loyal to yourself when you are with others. You are a walkover. You are a pushover. You are somebody who you are easy to get out of the way. You're not loyal to yourself. So now if you want to increase loyalty to yourself, you have to first of all go the dog direction. You have to find, dogs are very easy to impress when you're loyal to yourself. Just be loyal to yourself. And if you don't know how to be loyal to yourself, get a tiny dog. Start petting that particular dog. Now another thing, give dogs food when you feel, or when you meet them, or when you have an intention of increasing your loyalty to yourself. Have dog friends, stray dogs, go to dog houses, dog shelters, visit dogs. That will help a lot with improving your loyalty to yourself, because dogs are just loyalties around in nature. And they represent loyalties to different things. So when you feed them, especially the ones in your environment, the ones you can see, or your friend's dog, whatever, then you're feeding loyalty to yourself. And then lastly, I doubt this is last. Now, practices that help strengthen your loyalty to yourself. Now, number 4 is feeding your lawyers. Now, you might ask, who are your lawyers? Inside your life, there are people. When you sit alone, you're just sitting and contemplating your life, there are people. You know, without them, you wouldn't have hit certain milestones. Even if those people, they don't know, but you know. Important to feed the lawyers. People whose existence alone is boosting your own essence. Those are the lawyers of your life. And everyone has the lawyers of their lives. Feed the lawyers of your life. Me, I have a list on my phone whenever I need to feed lawyers of, and some people, they don't even know it's me that does it. You don't even have to tell anybody that you're doing anything. You just feed the lawyers of your life and start seeing how it will be, the ripple effects will be occurring. Feed the lawyers of your life. Don't force philanthropy. Give philanthropy to places that you don't have everything to do with you. Be loyal to yourself. So much that your philanthropy list still goes back to you. To your own essence. Now, lastly, practices that help strengthen your loyalty to yourself is feeding your cravings. Brenda is saying who are your lawyers again? The people who are loyal to your essence. The people who are loyal to your essence, it can come in any form. It can just be somebody exists and they look like your mom. And maybe your mom died and you loved your mom so much, and every time you see them, they remind you of your mom. And it makes you smile. Like, I don't know, you know yourself, and you know the things that keep you going. The people that embody those, you feed them, my dear. Feed the lawyers of your life. The ones that are supporting your existence. Yeah. So finally, feed your don't ignore your cravings. You know, the church lies to you. The church baits you in the opposite direction. The church tells you, oh, when you crave injera, Ethiopian injera, just ignore it. Those are temptations from the devil. When you're craving lasagna, just ignore it. Those are... Don't ignore your cravings. It improves loyalty to you. It's like you are also a dog. So every time you feed yourself, and the cravings come in different, this is just food I've put. Think widely, think outside the box. Craving can be a cloth, a piece of cloth. Craving can be your house looking a certain way. Craving can be you doing your hair a certain way. Craving can be you dressing a certain, it doesn't matter. You eating a certain thing, respect your cravings and know that you are a dog. Every time you want, it's like your dog wants. What do? Do you ignore your dog when it wants food? Because every time you feed yourself with your craving, that is a way your ancestors are communicating to you. There's a way in which your ancestors communicate to you so that you do certain things to survive certain things that are coming. For example, you might be facing some trypophobia witchcraft, and your ancestor tells you, eat some Ethiopian injera. You ignore that particular tribe, it's going to take you down, you're going to catch some cold or, have some bad mood. But if you give in to your craving, then now you've taken medicine beforehand. You trust yourself. Trust your process. Because if you don't trust yourself and your process, who are you here to trust? Who? Me, I don't want you to trust me. Oh, I have the job of trusting myself. So you trust don't put your trust on anybody. It's too much work to give to anyone. Trust yourself. Trust that you got you. Trust that you can never do anything to sabotage you. And then now when you trust yourself, now I trust myself, now so and so trust themselves, and then now we come together, it becomes a magical experience. Rather than now me, I trust myself, I'm coming, now you don't trust yourself. Discord. Now them, they don't trust themselves, now them, they trust themselves. Discord when we come together. Trust yourself and trust yourself in front of any contrast, guys. If you want to be strong, don't fear any contrast. Whichever contrast is present to you, be ready to debate your way. Be ready to say, you presented me on a pedestal with Elon Musk. Okay, I'm going to stand and speak for myself and still support myself and still stand up with myself instead of saying, oh, Elon Musk, I'm falling on my knee, I give up. No, that's not how you move on this particular planet. Give yourself a chance. Give your realm of the dead a chance. Give your ancestors a chance. Because at the end of the day, we are all breathing in and out here. There's nobody who is breathing petrol. There's nobody who is breathing some nitrogen. We are all doing the same things at the end of the day here. ready to be loyal to yourself in the presence of anybody. And also allow people to be loyal to themselves in your presence. It's okay. Yes, that's what is required. Because now if I'm loyal to myself and then now you want to be loyal to me to people please, no again. Discord. I'm loyal to myself, you're loyal to yourself. We come together, it's now beautiful. The essential practices of Ushirikina, which is now the quantum entanglement. We are in part 2 of this. So the first animal, the first important animal there you've seen is the dog totem. Dog totem. And then now I'm introducing you to these. These animals you must live with domestically. These are animals you must live with domestically. Even if you don't keep them domestically, physically. Spiritually, these are animals you must live with domestically. You must domesticate these animals spiritually. I don't know whether you get what I mean. That's the first one was a dog. You know, the ancestors were not foolish when they left the domestic animals that they left. So now after the dog, we have the cow, the totem for wealth, the goat, the totem for self-use, the chicken, the totem for spiritual ID. This is Virgo energy. Virgo energy, Capricorn energy, Taurus energy, self-support energy, self-use energy, and spiritual hygiene. Do no evil, accept no evil. So the ancestral favors are achieved by number 1. Guys, you can read these things clearly, I know. The ancestral favors are achieved by self-support that accumulates wealth. Guys, if you want to live peacefully with your ancestors, remember who the ancestors are, like I told you. The realm of the dead. People fear ghosts. People fear ghosts because the realm of the dead will come to the realm of the living even if you don't bring them. If you don't bring them dressed nicely, they will come as ghosts that will haunt you out of the land of the living. When you live with them in harmony, then they take you to your everlasting life or your millennium. So now remember, in order for you to maintain a good quantum entanglement with them, you first of all must be loyal to yourself. That dog totem. You have to be loyal to yourself. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about anything else. If you are not loyal to yourself, they will not even look at you in the mirror. If your ancestors are very stubborn, they are tough-headed as fuck, they are stiff-necked, they don't care. As long as you're not loyal to yourself, they will not, they are not okay with, they will not make you have an easy life. So now, first of all, being loyal to yourself, and then secondly, the self-support. This is how you win the favor. Now, the reason why I separated these particular 3 animals with the dog is because just because you exist on earth, you are loyal to yourself already. So just because you exist, just know that it is because you are loyal to yourself. Your essence was loyal to you. And that's why you were born. Fertilization takes place in this particular hands. So for you to be born, it's loyalty that has to occur. But after you are born, born. After you are born, how do you win favor? Now from your realm of the dead. Self-support. You have to have self-support that accumulates wealth. Self-support that accumulates wealth. There are certain self-support that don't accumulate wealth. That is demonic. Now, any support that you give yourself that doesn't accumulate wealth, like a LinkedIn profile or whatever, that's demonic. So you have to have self-support that brings wealth. And the reason why I'm saying that is, in the modern world, you can have somebody have like 196 million followers, but they don't make anything out of it. So they're supporting themselves in creating all that content and this, that. You have to be careful. The things you show up every day to support yourself towards, make sure that you're learning or earning. Because when you learn, you can earn from it. And then when you're earning, you're bringing in wealth. So your self-support, the things that you do on a 7-day basis, make sure that the end goal is wealth. Make sure that the end goal is wealth. Okay, I'm sorry if that was a wrong. I'm sure that was a wrong example to give. What should I have given? I don't know the best example to give. The reason why I've given that is because LinkedIn to me is just, it's not real. And maybe it's because I'm not there, so I'm just being biased. But if people are there and you've seen the lie inside my example, I'm sorry I used a terrible example. Now, another example is that of supporting yourself every day, accumulating a large amount of following, but there's no wealth behind it. The things that you support yourself with on a 7-day basis, on a daily basis, yes, Ayesha Wada, ne? I repent. Now the things you support yourself with on a daily basis must always accumulate wealth. Now ancestors don't favor people who don't support themselves and end up poor. Your attempts to be wealthy and live a life far away from poverty wins ancestral favors. Cow totem is representative of that Taurus, Asar, or Nilotic energy. And Nilotes always have cows by there. That's how you know somebody's a Nilote. So, cow totem is representative of that Taurus or Asar or Nilotic energy. That is your self-support. Your voice is your best self-support tool as well. So, if you want to win ancestral favors, do something with your life that is going to bring you some wealth, that's going to support your existence. And how do you support your existence in the modern world? Your basic needs, those who have to pay rent, to pay the bills that you have. If you cannot support yourself through the 7 days, you will not be authentic. You will need to bow your head to feed. But if you can support yourself through the 7 days, then your authenticity can grow. And ancestors, they love it when you can support yourself. So people who have children, who I'm talking to right now, and you have children, let me just tell you the truth. Make your children useful. Make the 7 days of your children useful. And make sure that the end goal is how they can support themselves long term. Give your children things that can support them long term, guys. Just be realistic. Don't shoot for the same things. Don't shoot for like you're shooting for a lottery. Sweetie, what about stay at home? And if you have a man, stay at home, please. All women who have men should stay at home. Should always be alone so that you are holding space for your man. Let me tell you, in my culture, we are putting this aside a little bit. In my culture, there are people that are called Jajuok Piti Piti, like wizards. People who run at night. I don't know how you call them in your culture or even if you have them. In my culture, we have people who run at night. Like at night, they just, things tell them to go and attack certain people. It's like, for example, now that scenario on social media would look like somebody coming to your inbox to insult you and you don't know them. So we have such people in our village, in the villages. So these people, most of the time they are married, they have to be married. And when the husband is going to run at night, the wife has to hold space for him. If the wife doesn't hold space for him, he gets caught. And the wife has to stay awake at home. Yes, night runners, that's how you call them. The wife has to stay awake at home waiting for this, holding space for this guy. I don't know whether they used to say they put their leg, I don't know, on the cooking stone or something, just to hold space for the guy. And so me, I was answering you who asked stay-at-home mothers. When you have a man and you go, hey, me I am spoiled, I'm too spoiled. I'm too spoiled. Women who have men and are still out there grinding, I'm too spoiled for you. As long as you have a man, you should stay at home. And then you should stay at home, you give this man so much energy that they face the world like they own it. When you have a man, make sure your man is your tool for real, for real. Give this man the ego of his life. People who have men, give this man the ego of his life. Let this, even if they do small jobs, make sure that it is an expansion-oriented relationship and jobs. A man that you start with from riding a motorcycle, you can walk with this man to a point they buy a yacht as a woman. When this man is alone riding a motorcycle, he can ride a motorcycle for 20 years. I'm saying when this man is alone riding his motorcycle, he can ride his motorcycle for 20 years, but put a woman in his life. In 20 years, this man can have a yacht. That's the work of the women. And women, please, do this. Make your man all about you. It's easy. Make your man all about you and his own goals. If you know you can't, then your intuition is weak. And you don't have to blame other women for it. Because as long as your intuition is too weak for your man, then now you guys start behaving like crazy people fighting over men. Jeez. It's so embarrassing to fight over men. I think fighting over men is the most embarrassing thing you can ever do on the planet. If you've ever done it, you are a disgrace. Anyway, let me continue. You are a disgrace to womanhood. You are an insult to the female intellect. Because men, you control men using your intuition. And if you know you cannot control a man using your intuition, leave him. Leave him for the women of his type. The women of his kind. The women of his caliber. And if you are a virgin, also accept it. Stop begging. If you know there is no man that is convincing you that they can get you to where you are going, stop begging. And start working on your own. As a woman, you are a full entity. If you can't find a sar, awaken your own Eru and start moving. Anyway, the second animal. Ancestral favors are achieved by self-use that triggers expansion. Self-use that triggers expansion. Now, ancestors don't favor people who misuse themselves and end up useless. Babe! if you want to have a relationship with your ancestors, first of all, like I said, the cow, you have to make sure that your 7 days, the way you spend them, is geared towards you accumulating wealth. You want to work with the ancestors. You want to become a witch. Run a marathon hungry. People who put them inside stupid, foolish, low vibrational situations, like fighting for a man. Imagine using your vessel to fight for a man. Imagine how your ancestors feel. That is how you misuse yourself. That is the bottom of the barrel level of self-misuse. Fighting for what you cannot control. Ancestors, they don't favor people who misuse themselves and end up useless. Misusing yourself can also be you are taking care of everybody else but yourself. The other day there was a Nigerian daughter who was complaining. My dad is paying school fees for my cousins back in Nigeria while we cannot even afford a washing machine. And we live in a country where a washing machine is mandatory. Some people, they would rather their name is worshipped outside when they're struggling inside. Misuse of self. You being useful to yourself, you must always make sure that you are catered for fast. You are comfortable fast. As somebody who's a River Lake Niloite, the first rule of swimming is never try to save somebody who doesn't know how to swim. When you know you are not a lifeguard. When you know you are not, I did not even say when you know you don't know how to swim. Even if you know how to swim, when you know you are not a lifeguard, never try saving a drowning person. Both of you will drown. And if you've ever been in a situation where somebody was drowning next to you, is when you will know what I mean. When you are swimming, you are not supposed to put weight on anything on your body. When somebody is drowning next to you and you're not a lifeguard, they're going to put all their weight. And when somebody's dying, they hold you like their life depends on it. They will hold you like they're choking you, and you, both of you, gone. Self-misuse. So now, your attempt to be useful, both to yourself and the world you live in, wins you ancestral favors. The God totem is representative of that Capricorn thought, energy, that is used to climb the mountain of life. How you utilize yourself is how you climb the mountain of life. For example, use me as an example. I'm a teacher. I am a teacher. If I don't use myself, if I don't come here and teach every day, I come here and teach, try new different ways of teaching, try teaching in different platforms, try teaching, I will not go anywhere. But as long as I keep teaching, as long as I keep teaching, as long as I keep showing up, I'm moving through the calendar. I'm moving through the calendar. And guess what is moving through the calendar? His intention is climbing the mountain of life. Climbing the mountain of life. Climbing the mountain of life. Now your needs and moods are your best self-use tools. Guys, why am I telling you the ancestral favors are important? When you want to start practicing African spirituality, practicing things like voodoo, witchcraft, or whatever they call it outside there, I don't know, traditional healing work or whatever. If you misuse yourself, you can't even survive 2 days in the work. If you're somebody who your 7 days is not arranged in such a way that it is bringing wealth in your life, you will not survive inside the spiritual practitioner work. So anybody that serves you, your self-support, anybody that serves your self-use, they are serving your ability to quantumly entangle, your ability to interact with your ancestors. Now, lastly, we have this particular animal called the chicken or the bird. So ancestral favors are achieved by spiritual hygiene that guarantees ancestral protection. So the moment you're spiritually hygienic, it guarantees ancestral protection. And the spiritual hygiene is the Virgo energy, that ability to do no evil and accept no evil. Ancestors don't favor people who do evil and accept evil. If you do evil, especially towards yourself, and you accept evil to be done towards yourself, ancestors don't like you. Because the moment you do evil towards yourself, you will be able to do evil towards others. The moment you accept evil towards yourself, you will be able to accept evil to be done to others. So your attempt to do not evil and accept not evil wins you ancestral favors. Chicken totem is representative of Virgo, that's Ra energy that is used to discern, guide, and protect. Your stomach, what you consume, dictates the level of your ancestral protection. So what you interact with, what you consume, does it do evil to you? Does it make you accept evil? Guys, be careful of the foods that you eat. Notice the world is moving even away from fast foods. Fast food is ending with Israel. And as the more the world becomes more conscious, fast foods are going to be a thing of the past, because people are just going to eat from people they know. And you can even see the alcohol brewing is changing. We have women who are making their own alcohol at home, inviting friends over to drink. Making their own food at home, inviting friends over to drink. That is where we are headed. This thing of monetizing everything, it's shifting. Once we develop into communities, people are going to be like, yeah, I can make wine, some wine. Making alcohol is very easy. And it is in the blood of some black women. By the way, if you're a black woman and you're single, you don't have children, and you know, you are considering this childless lifestyle of being unmarried, look into alcohol creation, look into alcohol manufacturing. Very easy, and as black women, you guys are the ones who are supposed to be doing that. It's a hobby of so many black women, even myself. And learning is very easy. So you brew your own alcohol and you invite your friends to come. Because guess what? Your food is where Apep attacks Ra. Apep will attack you through food, what you eat, what you consume. The energies you consume, that is the first place to render you defenseless. It will make you do evil and accept evil. So look at these particular animals, and guys, I did not want to get deep into this particular thing because I don't want to tell you about offering sacrifices using these animals, because I don't feel like we are in that timeline where offering animals as sacrifices is necessary. If you know you have issues, spiritual issues, just try and cleanse yourself. Unless it's very big, then a sacrifice can be offered, but it is not necessary for me to teach you guys, especially because of animal conservation and stuff like that. But what I'll tell you is, you know, consuming these particular animals with intentions their energy is attached. Like the chicken, when you consume the chicken with intention of being spiritually hygienic, it will be enforced. If you consume a goat with the intention of being useful, it will enforce it. If you consume a cow with the intention of being wealthy or enhancing the wealth within yourself, it will be enforced. And remember, Heka energy you have to put. So if your intention is to repair your money channels and stuff like that, you can fellowship with this particular animal. And remember, they also have their 12 houses as well. So you can pick from the 12 houses which one is more necessary for you if you eat animals. If you don't eat animals, there are plants also for different parts of the body. Yeah. And then finally, I wanted to show the second finally, before finally. The human skeletal arrangement in relation to animals. It's very important for you to know the way the human being is arranged. Human beings are arranged in a way that they have Heka. They can tap into the spirit realm. They can think for themselves. In a way that they can connect with each other through thoughts and stuff like that. They can tap into the spiritual dimension through their thoughts. Now when you look at animals like cow and goat, their Gemini energy is on the ground, and both their Gemini energy and their Capricorn, Sagittarius and Pisces and Aquarius energy, this front and back, are rooted in reality. And look at the body division. A human being is divided into two equal parts. The animals than they are in the physical dimension. Like they are fully present in the spirit realm here. But then when it comes into the physical dimension, it's almost like they are silent. So in the physical dimension, they represent the animals in the physical dimension. The lower part of the body exists in the spiritual dimension. The upper part exists in this. The lower part exists in the physical dimension. The upper part exists in the spiritual dimension. But look at the animals. The entire body is in the physical dimension, meaning they have an entire, because our world is dual. They have an entire body again in the spirit dimension. So then they are fully present in the physical, because they are already fully present in the spiritual. So literally, animals are here to accompany. It's almost like they're an accompaniment of this. They're like the spirit realm present in the physical. Because animals, they have the spirit realm bigger than the physical dimension. But then when you look at them in proximity to the equator, most of the time they exist just below the equator, meaning in the physical dimension. To mean that they have another part that exists in the spiritual dimension. While human beings, they are half in the physical, half in the spiritual. I don't know whether you comprehend it, but I hope some people do. So this is the chicken. When you look at the chicken, they almost have the hands. The hands are like literally the dinosaurs. So when you look at their skeleton, when you look at the skeletons of different animals, this is just the same skeleton in different models. So a set, the head, stretching in different models. but they all still go back to the same thing. And this is the representation of half existence in the spirit and half existence in the physical. Yeah. So animals, they have a version of themselves that is in the physical is the same as the version that is in the spiritual. But humans, half is in the physical, half is in the spiritual. So humans are bipedal, like we exist in both the physical and the spiritual at the same time. While animals, they exist like if you see a cow in the physical dimension, that is exactly how they are in the spiritual dimension. It will make sense later as we explain deeper. But just know that animals is almost like someone stayed in the spirit and then someone was sent. It's like they're twins. One is in heaven, one is on earth. That is animals. Animals, they're twins. One is in heaven, one is on earth. Human beings, they are just one upper part in heaven, lower part on earth. So when you see animals, the way they are here on earth is exactly the way they are in heaven. So they are very heavenly beings. You're beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So guys, this is one thing that I wanted to teach, just to show you the skeletons. And please look at these skeletons in it. This is a set. This is a set in human form, a set in chicken form, a set in crocodile form, a set in cow form, a set in fish form. Different models of a set. And history has it that this one is the favorite. Do you guys think this one is the favorite? I'm not sure. I am not sure, but mythology books has it that this one is the favorite, but all these are set shapes. So, and remember that this one has hair car. So that is one of the things that make them special. Apart from these things that I want you to comprehend in nature about Ushirikina, I also want to, before I leave this place, because guys, that is the last slide that I have. Before I leave this place, does anyone have a question? The favorite is destroying Earth. Yeah, but we're trying to build it. The favorite got split into different forms. And some versions love Earth, and some want to destroy Earth. Meaning, the favorite was split into two, a version that loves itself and a version that hates itself. So if they manage to make black people hate themselves, then they'll manage to make the world end. If black people manage to hate themselves, then the world will manage to end, to be destroyed completely. But do you think it's possible? I don't think so. Do you guys have a question before I continue to my last explanation of things before I leave? I don't think you have questions, so I'll just continue. Okay. Somebody's asking, what were the first two practices to strengthen loyalty? This the moon cycle, moon rituals, and menstrual rituals, baby. I think. Moon rituals and menstrual rituals, right? Moon rituals, menstrual rituals, feeding dogs and loys, then cravings. God. Anyway, let me introduce you guys to the one last thing before I leave. So I want to introduce you to this last thing before I go. So just like I was teaching you, oh baby, come on. Just like I was telling you, we have day and we have night. The day is on that side, the night on this side. What happens when you're with others? What happens when you're alone? So, what is the first? There's this thing called houses. So there's houses when you are alone, and houses when you are in the presence of others. Now, the first house when you are alone is your self-knowledge. You knowing yourself, that is the first thing you do when you're alone. And then you believing in yourself, and then you being authentic. Those are the first things that you do when you're alone, the first, second, third. Now, when you are with others, what are the first things that you do? When you are with others, the first thing that you do is you love yourself. Then you analyze the situation, do no evil, accept no evil. And then you become confident, you balance yourself. You give everybody what they deserve. Not, guys. Because the way you behave when you are alone is not the way you behave when you are with others. When you are alone, the first thing is you know yourself. The second thing is you believe in yourself. The third thing is you are authentic. Then you support yourself, you think for yourself, you feel. When you are with others, the first thing you do is you love yourself before anything else. Then you analyze the situation, do no evil, accept no evil. Then you give everybody the energy they deserve. Those who do evil to you, tell them fuck you. Those who don't do evil to you, you tell them you embrace. And then you desire yourself, you adventure, you become useful. So know the way the energies move when you are alone and when you are with others. Because self-loyalty is a must. This is what will lead you to self-loyalty. When you are with others, and this is the channel that you follow. You first love yourself. It will give you self-loyalty. You analyze the situation. Is this person, whether that person is Trump or who, or what is the president of China's name? Xi Jinping. Or Putin, or Ibrahim Traore, or whoever you guys think. The first thing you do when you are in the presence of anyone, any contrast, is love yourself. Analyze. Is that contrast doing evil to you or making you acceptable? And then number 3, give them the energy they deserve back. Now when you are alone, the first thing you do is know yourself. Who are you really? What are you here for? Believe in yourself. Can you achieve what you are here for? Do you trust your process? And then be authentic. Be about what you are here for. Be about it. Move towards it. And then support it and stuff like that. Are you guys comprehending? Yes, well comprehended. So those, please, this will help you maintain. Once you start with the first box, it will head start all the others and it will be well. When you are alone, once you start with this, it will head start the others, you will be well. So comprehend and move accordingly, kindly. That's all I had for you guys today. August has been tight, but you can feel it, the energy, even the weather. August has been tight, but even the weather, when the Perseus meteor stopped here where I am, even the weather changed on 13th. So I'm sure that you're watching it because as within so without. So I'm sure that you're watching the shifts as you know the winners are taking space, because I know you guys did not fall for the meteors. Yeah, loosening up slowly. So acknowledge the loosening up and know that all is well. All is well. And guys, I want to tell you something. There's this song that goes, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well with my soul. Do you know that song? Yeah. If you know that song, I want to give you a homework. I want you to go find that song in your language, in your mother tongue. I want you to go find that song in your mother tongue and listen to that song in your mother tongue, in your language. If it is not available in your language, I'm sorry, drop out of the assignment. But if the song is available in your mother tongue, go listen to that song in your mother tongue. And always listen to that song whenever you feel called to, in your mother tongue. For the Luos who are listening, I can. The English version is very shallow. So the original versions from the original hymns, go listen to it. And just meet the power, the subliminal power in that song. Yeah. It's very powerful in my language, Luo, as well. And resonate with that song and know that all is well. Otherwise, unless you guys have a question, I would love to, to meet you next time.
You okay? Feel
Where
good?
is it, my dear?
Alright, feel good?
Sing for us. They don't allow us to
That's
sing
okay.
here, but don't worry, I will sing for you a
I
lot.
want to turn on the piper.
A lot. But they don't allow singing in the subscribers only
My shoulder. And there's
page. But I will sing for you a lot. You will even tell me, hey, we are tired now. Both covers
This one.
and originals and everything. So don't worry. How can one add menopause?
Oh, let's do it.
One
feel stronger, right?
still manifest even though. Listen.
Straighten out.
Menopause only. Okay, so this is the situation with menopause spiritually. As a woman, you have a womb. Inside your womb, you get eggs, which is intuition that you can turn into reality on both sides of your womb. So these intuitions that you can turn them into reality is like your ancestors telling you, go forth and fill the earth. That thing was being told to women, go forth and fill the earth. So now when your ancestors tell you, go forth and fill the earth, as I told you, you are filling the earth from where? From your realm of the dead, from your ancestral realm. So every time when you keep filling the earth by giving spaces to the wrong people, wrong individuals, it reaches the point where your ancestor tells you, nope, Like you keep creating things that are not loyal to you. You keep creating. Remember, menopause is not just about the menstrual cycle only. It's about what do you create in your life. Are those things prioritizing your emotional well-being? Are those things loyal to you? Are those things protecting you? Are those things supporting you? If they are not, you reach a certain point, the ancestors say no. No more intuition to turn into reality. So if you don't want to reverse that, then show your ancestors, prove to your ancestors that you are ready to bring into reality things that truly supports you as a woman. Because as long as it supports you as a woman, as long as it caters to your emotional need as a woman, it will do the same to the planet. You are the planet. As a woman, you are the replica of the planet. What happens to you happens to the planet. So if your ancestors gave you eggs to come turn into reality and you keep shooting yourself using those eggs, your ancestors will say, don't give them eggs anymore. Cut it off. That's enough. So menopause is actually caring for you because you've been manifesting things that are contrary to your emotional well-being so much that the ancestors say, turn it off. Should we blame women who go through menopause? No. The system was set to trick women into manifesting things that are not beneficial to their emotional well-being. If we are a collective, what is affecting your neighbor affects you eventually. So if you want to reverse it, then we have to live in a world where women are creating things that are beneficial to their emotional well-being. Not creating bombs that will bomb Nagasaki, bomb Hiroshima, bomb Palestine, bomb Iran. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying. But I hope you do. Yeah, Brenda, I think I read your message. I'm going to respond. I'll respond to your message, Brenda, in due course. Kindly allow me. How can one reverse me? Okay, so I think those are the questions. Yeah. So guys, can I? Niende.
He's coming? Damn. All right, let's get it.
Alafu share. What do I share publicly, my dear? What do I share publicly, babe? Tell me. Oh.
Yeah. You have socks? You don't need socks?
Okay.
Was it raining?
Thank you. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, after we're done, I'll thank you for telling me that.
The water almost went up my
Recall
nose.
to do it. Yeah. So guys.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Sour. We will. And I've been thinking even about sharing some of my private sessions online, but we'll see. We'll see with time. We'll see with time. I want to do that. I've been thinking about anyway, it is in the thinking docket, so we will see with time. So otherwise guys, see you guys. Ciao, adios. Ushirikina, yes. Ciao, adios, ne? Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah, we will work on it. We will work on it. We will work on it. So, thank you so much for coming to class today. Again, next Wednesday. I see you with another class. Until there's a new routine for September, so let's finish with August, and then we get into our new routine for September, and then we go. Enjoy your week as well. Bye. And thank you for coming to class. 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 Bye.